Yo, good evening, everyone. Welcome to Knowledge and Relationships. This is your boy M3. And so today we're going to have a nice little topic that's called The Lavish Lifestyle of Amber Lucas. Hold on. As a matter of fact, I just thought about something. Um, Let me check real quick. Well, it's supposed to be called, which I don't know why the title is called The Lifestyle. Hold on, let me fix that real quick. See, I knew we was missing something. The title is a little off, but it's supposed to be called The Shocking Truth About the Lavish Lifestyle of Amber Lucas. Now, you may probably wonder, okay, who is Amber Lucas? She's not a celebrity. It's not like she's anyone who is like very well known. To be honest with you, I actually pulled up an article from Google because she's just like an average woman, average at best as well too, as some people will say. But she definitely has an interesting story, and that's the part where I find intriguing. Not just the person herself, but the story behind her life, and it involves when dating with other men. You know, so before I begin, let me wait for like a little bit because we only have a few people with us watching. So let's wait until like the numbers get up real quick. So everybody, do me a favor. If you are watching Knowledge and Relationships, please like share the videos, give it a thumbs up, share it to your friends and family, and also leave a comment. Because what's the point of me, sharing this and no one's here yet? So we'll give about a minute, okay? Before I really dive deep into this topic. Let me see. Plus, I need to find. Funny thing is, I had the article too. Let me go ahead and pull up. Amber Lucas. Okay. All right. Got that in queue? All right. Got that queue. So whenever we have more people, I'll definitely read the article to you guys. And also, I'm going to start like a little bit early. So I'm thinking about starting at 7 as opposed to 7:30 because I know I've been getting like a lot of feedback from the people out in the East Coast, and we have viewers for all over, right? But we do have viewers mostly like from the East to the Midwest. You know, most of the time when we're streaming, this is already like, you know, about to be their bedtime, and so although I can't push it like an hour yet, I would like to at least push it, at least put like 30 minutes, as opposed to, our usual time 7:30. So I'll give her, a shot and wait for a bit. Anyways, if anyone's in here, give me a thumbs up. Otherwise, I want to start reading the article. And then for ones who are now tuning in, I don't mind reading the article again. But let's go ahead and get started, all right? I don't want to take up too much time. All right, so this is Amber Lucas. And keep in mind, hopefully I didn't call her Amber Rose because anytime when I hear the name Amber, I feel like it makes me want to call her Rose. So if I call her Rose by accident, that's my bad. But her name is Amber Lucas. Okay? So the insider says, I used a dating app to meet millionaires. I got to travel the world, get fancy gifts, and learn a lot from my relationships. Okay, so that was pretty much the key headline that pretty much got my attention. And this is Amber Lucas, living lavishly. So Amber Lucas says that she had an amazing time seeing the sights of Europe without having to worry about the expenses. Also, I think Amber Lucas, if I'm not mistaken, is from San Francisco, and I think she moved out to Europe. But we're gonna dig into it, okay? Okay. So in this essay, right, there's 3 bullet points. Okay. Amber Lucas says she was tired of dating men who took advantage of her generosity. Okay. And then the other one says she told insiders she dated up by raising her expectations and meeting successful men. And then it also says this is Lucas' story as told to Jane Riley. All right, interesting. Okay. All right, so let's go down. All right. It says it's been edited for length and clarity. Okay. So this is what she says. I spent a lot of my last year reevaluating my life. The most important thing I had to change was the type of guys I dated. Most of them were emotionally immature and financially irresponsible. I bailed out on them. One guy wanted money because he couldn't make rent. He couldn't afford it because he spent his whole salary on weed. Wow. Okay. And also, guys, if you guys are tuning in, if you give like a thumbs up, leave a comment, share the videos to like your friends and family. And if you're new, please subscribe. Okay. So, excuse me. So right here, right? Okay. She's talking about pretty much, you know, she dated. Basically, to sum up, she dated, men who were broke. And I guess this is kind of like her story, her justification of why she is making a decision to date up. Okay. Now, keep in mind, as a disclaimer, I personally don't really care, about what a stranger does for his or her own life. You do whatever you do that makes you happy as a person. But the story is still intriguing because, there is a shocking truth to it. So go ahead and scroll down. And I'll definitely read this again, as more people come in, right? Okay. So another guy left this rusty old car at my home for 3 weeks. He couldn't afford the maintenance. It was leaking oil. He used my AAA insurance to have it towed. Okay. I wanted to meet better men. Those experiences made me want to meet more stable men, someone mature who could make interesting conversation and approach relationships with a generous mindset. A man with a handle on his life I want to date up. Again, there's nothing wrong with trying to date up, okay? But here's the other thing too, okay? As a man, most men typically don't date up. They typically kind of date down. You know what I mean? And so, and it just depends. It's because, our pool of options is different as opposed to theirs. Now, I like this kind of mindset because the mindset she has is that, okay, I don't want to be in a relationship where it's not making me happy. But here's the question, you know, is it geared to more materialistic things, or is it just because, like, hey, you know, maybe this is a woman who probably felt used by men, and so a lot of times we don't really think about this. We usually kind of you know, kind of prejudge and kind of label this person to be like a gold digger. And so when we're labeling people to be like gold diggers, as opposed to getting to know what this person's capable of, or what this person has been through, we don't really get a chance to kind of see the other side of things. All right, let's go ahead and read it. So a friend told me about the dating website Seeking. It specializes in matching successful and attractive people. I joined in August 2021. There are tiers of membership. The tier costs $275 a month. People can't just post their income, net worth, lifestyle budget when they join at the highest level. So people can post their income, net worth, and lifestyle budget when they join at the highest level. Okay. So I guess it discloses like, hey, how much they make. All right. Interesting. All right. So then it also says, I wanted to meet men who shared my interest in travel and explore new things. I'm in the process of establishing my own business. I also thought it would be good to be among people who knew how to negotiate and reach targets. I hope they'll advise or mentor me. All right. So she already has her own personal aspirations when it comes to business and networking. So, okay. So she has a good mindset on this one. Now, I want to give a shout out to the Q Spot podcast. Salutes to you, QueBee. QueBee, if you wish to come up, feel free to. I'll send you the link right now. So hold on. Let me do this real quick. All right. But anybody that want to come up so we can have a discussion, feel free to. And I don't mind kind of going back because we're still in the beginning of the live stream anyways. So QueBee, if you have a little bit of time, feel free to come up. We could talk about this discussion together. I think this will be fun. And here she is right now. Oh. What's up, QueBee?
Hey, what's going on?
Nothing much. How are you doing?
I'm great. I was about to start doing some editing on some other stuff, but I'm like, I could take a break for a minute.
Well, I appreciate you for tuning in. If you're just now tuning in, right? I don't mind going back to the story because this story is about a woman, right?
Okay.
Let me go up real quick because now we're having more people in there, so that's good. So in the headline of the story, this lady, her name is Amber Lucas. And in the headline of Insider, she used a dating app to meet millionaires. She got to travel the world, get fancy gifts, and learn a lot from her relationships. So this will start, the start of this conversation about her. And basically, three major bullet points in this essay is that she was tired of dating men who took advantage of her generosity. She also told Insider she dated up by raising her expectations and being successful men, and this story is told to Jane Radley. I guess this is the one who's doing the editing and all that. And this is as told to essay is based on a conversation with Amber Lucas. It has been edited for length and clarity. Okay, so some things have been slightly edited. And salutes to you, Marcus. Thank you for tuning in as well. Salute, fam. And thank you for the 1K. We're almost monetized. We're not there yet. YouTube is still, looking at our channel and review. So I think, we're doing good so far.
Okay.
So, yeah. Well, QueBee, I want to just get your opinion to this. What comes to your mind first when you read this headline? You know what I mean? About a woman using dating apps to date millionaires as she's dating up. Look like they're kind of glorifying it.
Yeah. So I guess I have several questions. One, Is
Mm-hmm.
she already a millionaire? So does she even have, I'm not gonna say does have the right, but does she have the privilege to even request a man be a millionaire that she wants to date? Like, everyone has preferences, sure.
Mm-hmm.
But it's like, are you able to meet, what if this man wants you to be a millionaire? What if he wants you to have a certain status, or whatever the case may be? Are you able to meet him where he's at? So that's one.
Mm-hmm.
Um, Two, I feel like it could be looked at as she's trying to get a well, I hate to say get a come up, or do things. She's trying to bypass the hard work of dating. I don't
Mm-hmm.
know. It's like she's trying to bypass something. And
Mm-hmm.
so I heard you mention this topic before, and I wanted to talk about it about 2 years ago, but I left it alone. And it's
Mm.
called hypergamy, where
Yeah.
people marry up for status, not necessarily for love. And so I feel like this is kind of where she's at with this. It's like, because even though she mentioned, well, I hope they can coach and mentor me, da 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 da, advise, there's still something. It's like the money aspect is what's going to help solidify those other connections. Like, if he don't have $1 million, then I really don't want nothing else from you. Like, that's what I
Mm-hmm.
get. I could be wrong, but that's what I get. Like, yeah, you need to have $1 million just to even start the conversation. That's
You
what I
know,
get.
yeah. Okay, okay. So you kind of read a little bit, like, before hopping on there.
I
All
haven't
right.
read any of it, so that's just what I get from it.
Okay, okay. Well, QB, this is gonna answer, like, as I finish reading this article, this is gonna answer all, like, your questions, right?
Okay.
And you will be surprised about this. This is why I find the story very intriguing. I mean, intriguing. Okay. So in some of the points, she says, I spent a lot I spent a lot of last year reevaluating my life. So I feel like at that point, right, she is making sure that, hey, before you judge me, hear me out real quick. I'm like the victim here. So don't label me as a gold digger, because she already, in her beginning statement, already sounds a little defensive. The most important thing I had to change was the type of guys I dated. Most of them were emotionally immature and financially irresponsible. I bailed them out of jail. One guy wanted money because he couldn't make rent. He couldn't afford it because he had spent his whole salary on weed. Okay? Now, here's the thing, right? which this is funny. And also, shout outs to Mr. Intellectual, like, SoapBox. So, and shout outs to the Knowledge Relationships fam. Shout out to DJ Eddie, First Lady Tammy, and, everyone else as well, too, And thank you, QB, for still come up in here, fam. Um, she says, immature and what else? And financially irresponsible.
Mm.
But then here's my thing, right? And I'm not judging her because she's a woman. I'm just judging the character part, the way how she's speaking right now.
Mm-hmm.
Because if those guys were emotionally immature and financially irresponsible, then doesn't that kind of speak about her character? Like, why would you, pull out your money to bail them out? Okay, why would you actually date someone who, and I for sure you could probably see some red flags, a person that's going to jail or prison, but you're bailing them out.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? So that doesn't seem like you're being financially responsible as a person. And as far as being mature, you know, you're giving your money out to people who can't afford rent, but then yet you're giving your money out to people that will spend a whole salary for weed, which makes me think, was she a weed hit?
So I want to go back to the financially irresponsible, emotional. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
there's a difference in old money and new money,
Mm-hmm.
and there's a difference in inherited money. And so, look at some of your let's just say 35, 30 and under, they probably inherited their wealth. Those that are wealthy, some of them, yes, made their money, but there's a good portion of them that inherited their wealth. And if they grew up around money, they more than likely had a whole lot of freedom. So that means they partied, they drank, they did drugs, they did. They might have had two parents in their household. They might have had a bed curfew and all that. But I guarantee you, they bent all the rules at some point in time. So
Mm.
there are times that, or they could have had two parents who worked so much, who weren't present. So there's a whole psychological aspect there. So they grew up retaliating and rebelling against their money and their parents. So that makes them emotionally emotionally immature. Okay, they probably are used to just throwing money around. That makes them financially irresponsible. If they didn't have to really work for their money, they don't understand the value of that money. Let's just go. I mean, there's so many facets to that alone. And again, just because someone has $1 million on paper and stocks and bonds, how much do they actually have in their bank account? They might have only 50,000 in their bank account. They may not have access to liquidize any of their other money. So you have to just look at it all. Look at all the ramifications. So anyway, that's one thing.
Hmm.
Okay, and then yeah, it goes to question, if you were dating these type of guys that never had enough money to make their rent, um, obviously you saw something in them beyond money at first or at some point that money later became the issue. Maybe they had the good, so at first money wasn't an issue, but then all these flags start popping up like, okay, well, this ain't working for me. And no
Hmm.
one should have to settle. Ladies, listen, I'm not saying settle for the man with the good loving. Never that. Never. But at some point, there was something about that man that attracted her. Anyway, yeah.
Right.
So she
Yeah.
needs to
That's.
evaluate herself and be honest with herself. You know, I don't know her, but I mean, as you read in earlier part of the article, she was a little defensive. You're like, okay, let me tell you first. Let me tell you this before y'all go and say something else. So I don't know.
It sounds like I feel like deja vu, like when it comes to what we see normally like on YouTube and what we hear, that most people will lack, and that's the accountability for one's own actions. But there's a twist to it, so um, yeah, it yeah, it gets better from here. Okay, so
Okay, let's go.
another guy left his rusty old car at my home for 3 weeks. He couldn't afford the maintenance. It was leaking oil. He used my AAA insurance to have it towed. Okay, big L for
Well,
her.
so obviously they spent enough time together where he felt comfortable leaving his car there. Like, anyway. Hey, Vaughn.
Salute,
Marquez.
Vaughn Bryant.
Intellectual SoapBox.
And folks, if you guys want to come up so we could dab into this article together, feel free to. Yeah, that's crazy because like I look, if I was in her position, I wouldn't even allow a woman to even like leave her car. Like I don't know. It, it that's just wild to me. It's like you're dating all these irresponsible men, but you're choosing them.
Yes.
So, and then she says, "I want to meet better men." Oh
Mm.
wow, so you really want to meet better men now, right? Okay. Those experiences made me want to meet more stable men, someone mature who can make interesting conversation and approach relationships with a generous mindset.
Mm.
Okay. A man with a handle of his life I wanted to date up. Again, and this is where I was like, there's nothing wrong with people trying to date up, but what what is your intention of dating up? And when you say date up, right? Can the
Mm-hmm.
men date up? And usually people will say, well, women tend to date up, but men tend to date down. And that's because our wants and needs are a little bit different. So, and salutes to Wally in the building. Shouts to Wally. All
Hey,
right.
Wally.
That boy saluted Marcus twice though, but salute, salute. And if you're tuning into Knowledge Relationships and you're new, please subscribe. We're trying to reach to 2,000 subscribers. So, that's our short term goal, but the long term, oh, it will be even greater once we get there.
Infinity.
Exactly. Infinity and beyond. Now, as we continue the article, a friend told me about the dating website Seeking. Okay. It specializes in matching successful and attractive people. I joined in August 2021. There are tiers of membership. The top tier costs $275 a month.
Mm-mm.
Wow.
Mm-mm.
People can post their income, net worth, and lifestyle budget when they join at the highest level.
Can I say this?
Hmm.
People obviously ain't watching now one of these 48 hours. Um, what had happened was crime, this mystery, that. Like, folks ain't watch them shows of how people can scam. They can scam all day long. Oh, I got this income. I work this job. They can be living a whole double life lie,
Hmm.
and you think they just the bee's knees. I want to
Yeah.
say something else, but anyway, yeah. And then you dig deeper and deeper, and then stuff don't start adding up, and it's like, oh, they done sold me the whole kid and caboodle. They a whole snake or something out here. Oh Lord. Okay, go ahead.
So also, this is a woman who's really trying to get her money's worth. Like, man, she is fed up with these broke dudes. You know what I mean? Like, I guess being broke is no joke.
Yeah.
Look,
Oh,
I'm gonna say this stuff, right, fellas, right? Before you even try to date a woman, whether they're average at best or above, please, okay, at least get your financials in check. Okay, that is a huge component when you're trying to advance into a relationship. I'm not saying money is everything, but at a certain point, money is a necessary tool if you're trying to live together, if you're trying to provide for each other. Like, you don't
yeah.
want to be no broke scrub. Okay, that just that's not even a definition of what a real man is supposed to be. You know. So that's the part I will say that if they're lacking that area, you got to do better. But hey, it sounds like she chose the Pookies and Ray Rays or whatever, however you call them, and now she's trying to find some more sophisticated providers. Now she says,
She's
I wanted to meet men who share my interest in travel and explore new things. This is going to answer your question earlier, QB, because you wanted to see what's her net worth.
okay.
So I'm in the process of establishing. I'm in the process. In the process
So she don't have her business.
of establishing my own business. That means she don't have a business. Okay.
Mm,
I also thought it would be good to be among people who knew how to negotiate and reach targets.
okay.
Okay. Go
Can
ahead.
I start? Okay, so that's like me. I'm trying to be like Oprah. So that would be like me trying to say, okay, I'm gonna go to New York. I'm gonna find out where Angie Martinez is gonna be. I'm gonna pop up on the scene and introduce myself because I'm trying to be, in the know. Okay, I'm gonna
Mhm.
find out where Cher Underwood at. Her show is not going. She don't have her radio show in the mornings anymore. So let me go sneak in, have a conversation about how did you get your radio show syndicated? How did you get started? Instead of developing a real relationship with people, I'm going to use them to my advantage. Yes, in life, in society, we do it. We use people for our advantage in one way or another. But for me, she sounds like she really trying to use these networks as a come up. Not to say she's not going to like these men, but it's more of a business. It's a business connection versus a romantic connection. That's and again, I could be misjudging her, but and I do understand. Okay, we cannot really afford to marry just for love alone anymore. No, we need all the incomes we can get, but you're flat out saying you. I don't see nothing in there that says I want to meet somebody that I can spend my life with and share my heart with. I don't see that nowhere.
Mm-hmm.
It's all about business, travel, money, this, that. You know,
Yeah,
what can
it's
I get out of it?
exactly. And and I normally say like everything is more of like a transactional type of thing, but in this one, I don't really see the fairity in the transaction. I feel like it's just like, hey, this is my story of my life. I've been burnt. I've been used. Now I deserve to be lavished. I deserve to be spoiled because it's kind of like a Disney, but yet crossover religious type of mindset that you normally would hear like, oh, you do good, good will come to you. You find every diamond in the rough, but eventually you'll find your Prince Charming, and then he'll
Mhm.
come, and then when he does come, he'll marry you, and you'll live in a big old castle, and you'll live happily ever after, and they really get into that type of things. And
No,
yeah, go ahead.
no, I just want to point out her looks too as
Hmm.
well. She's,
Hmm.
nice body, nice, figure.
Hmm.
Um, she has a skin tone that's racially ambiguous. So you don't know if she's black, mixed. You don't know what ethnicity she really is. She could
Hmm.
pass for a lot of things. She has this nice hair. And so I think those things also work in her favor. If you were to take a darker skinned black woman or a dark skinned African woman or someone or Latin woman who has darker shade of skin and they
Hmm.
have a kinkier texture hair and they may have more hips and thighs, than whatever, they
Yeah.
may have a different time. Their experience may be a little different unless they're now there is a market for all kind of women. There are men who love all kinds of women. However, I feel like this woman, and it's not my intent to put down any woman. However, I'm going off of what I see. This woman can pass for multiple things, and I feel like she has a lot working in her favor. But however, I feel like that's still gonna come back and bite her in the ass because of
Hmm.
her preferences when it comes to money, status, and XYZ.
Yeah. No, I understand. Um, I mean, the reality is that it is true. Like, if you're pretty much like, how should I say this, physically acceptable in society, like it's almost like you could actually place these type of demands,
Hmm.
these type of stipulations, and it's either they agree to your terms or you could find someone else that will, which is the sad case because then it kind of goes back to us. You know what I mean? Like, are we the ones that is making them, that's giving them the big head, you know? And until like, we kind of like value our own worth as men, this is always going to be a repeated cycle. And no one ever like really learns like the lesson. But right now, this is the way how things go in the world. Now, as I continue in the article, she also says too, QB, at the end of this paragraph, I hope they'll advise or mentor me. So,
She still want to get something for free.
mm-hmm,
People have to pay for mentoring and coaching and things like No, consultations. I need $50 an hour, $100 an hour, ma'am.
Right. But you know, some people, and I'm not saying her, right? But some people will be like, well, I'll offer you my body. Or even worse, I'll just offer you my time, and that should pay for my mentorship.
Oh, okay.
So let's see. Lucas has enjoyed the high life since she started dating up and met more successful men than those she dated in the past. Okay, living lavishly, I'm telling you. Now, she says, I talked to a few guys on the site. They were mostly in their 50s. All right, this is going to be the key point right here. Mostly
Okay.
in their 50s.
Okay.
I met one who lived in my home city of San Francisco. He was super kind and intelligent. Hold on, can we play the dating music real quick? Let's go ahead and play dating music, all right? She says, mostly in their 50s, I met one who lived in the home city of San Francisco. He was super kind and intelligent. He brought his dog to the date, which I thought that was very sweet. But we couldn't really see each other again.
So they went on one date, and then that was it.
Yeah. But they didn't really see each other again. Okay? So let me give a shout out to Mr. Grizzly Bear Productions. What's up, Grizz? Shouts to you, Grizz. If you want to come up, the link is posted. Well, no, it's pinned to the chat. So feel free to hop up whenever you feel like you could. Okay? But definitely good to see you, brother. It says, what's going on with everyone? Oh, everyone's doing pretty good, man. You know? Yeah, shouts to Grizz, man. All right. Oh, okay. So first date, after that, didn't see each other. Then she says, in the fall, I dated an international businessman. Again, in his 50s, right? He was 53, about 14 years older than me. So basically, she's 39.
Wow.
We've been on several dates. When I told him that I was going on a trip to France, it's one of my favorite countries. Do you want to visit me? I asked somewhat jokingly. Okay. He says, absolutely. Would love to come. Let's see. He said, absolutely would like to come and asked when I was leaving. I said, I haven't brought my tickets yet. Okay. So, will you? So this is where it gets interesting. Then he asks him, "Will you let me do that for you?" He said. Okay. So, I would love to support you in your travel to France. She says, it took my breath away. In my prior relationships, I had to be independent, save up my money, and plan every last detail of the trip. Here was someone who saw that I had a passion. Oh, where's my hold on for me, QB. I got something for her, right? So someone for my passion who wanted to support me. I thought about it for a bit. I said, okay, yes, thank you. Somebody that understands the passion of my travel. He's here to support me. I love this man. Probably in her thoughts, right? So he hovered over my shoulder when I booked the business. Wait a minute, hold on, wait. He hovered over my shoulder when I booked the business class flights. Hold on, I gotta pause. Okay, I guess I didn't read this all carefully. So she was the good. Hold on.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I understand that he offered to pay for a flight, but see, I thought he was the one who actually made the arrangements but she took way over to business class.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, wow, hold on. I got to pause real quick.
You got to read the next line, though.
Yeah. Hold on. Grit says, too tired, long day. I feel you, though. Mr. Intellectual SoapBox says, salutes to Grizzly Bear Productions. You know, everybody's giving salutes. Wally's laughing right there. You know, laugh dead, laugh dead, laugh dead. Wow, yeah.
Yeah, this story getting good. I need some popcorn.
Man, whew. I'm glad I'm reading the story with you, QB. Let me go ahead and finish this part.
Uh-huh.
So I'm going to read this again. So he hovered over my shoulder when I booked the business class flights. He said, I don't want to remove the power, so I'll give you the credit card, and we could do it together. Hold on for a second. All right.
You found a one.
All right. Anyways, the moment the price came up, he said, "Don't get sticker shock." The term sticker shock. Okay, I thought these tickets could pay off. Okay. So he says, "Don't get sticker shock," and then she says, "I thought these tickets could pay off my car."
So
That's
okay. Go back to what I was talking about. She want to come up. He offered. It's like she opened the door with him being generous, and he was like, "Here, baby, here's my credit card. Let's just go ahead and book these business." You know, she's like, "I want to go to France. Would you like to come with me?" Well, sure. When you leaving? Oh, I haven't even bought my ticket yet. That was her fishing and baiting the hook right there. He's like, "Oh, well, let me take care of that for you." And then it's like, you know what? Let me just give you my credit card. We can do this together. You know, like I want to cuss so bad right now.
Hold on, real quick, QB, right? Before we get to Popeye the Sailing, right? Just to clarify, Wally, right? Because I got kind of confused too, though. But he says, "Wait, did she say she didn't want to let go of her power?" No, it wasn't her. It was the guy. We hovered over her as she was making business to first class flights. Probably didn't know what the price was because remember, he offered to pay for her flight. So instead of choosing as a respectable woman, maybe coach or coach or whatever.
Or first class at least.
Yeah, she chose first slash business class, and he hovered over her shoulder, and that's where he told her that he didn't want to remove the power, he didn't want to remove her power, so he'll give her the credit card, so then they could do it together. Yeah. So,
and obviously, when he said, "Don't get sticker shock," that means obviously prices don't matter to him. You know, he got it like that where he can pay for whatever. And see, again, she is trying to get a come up. I wonder if she even had any intentions on even going to Paris, France, or she was just, again, baiting him to see what he would say, so she can now get a free trip out of the whole thing. But now, okay, you stuck with this 53-year-old man in France, in Paris. He gonna be by your side and expect some goodies or something. He gonna expect something. He paid for a whole trip or two in a hotel, probably.
Yep. There's more to it, but yeah, as we are definitely dissecting this, right? This article. This is and no disrespect to you, QB, but this is female manipulation. Because as you called it out, QB, she set up the conversation to where she wanted the man to speak up and be chivalrous and offer to pay for her flight. I'm for sure, as an aspiring businesswoman, she would not probably have been going to Paris or France, whatever, if it wasn't for his sponsorship.
I like how you said it.
Yeah. And Vaughn says, "What the hell? Hell no! You can't make this up." Exactly. And then shout outs to John Sinatra. John Sinatra, thank you for tuning in, man. Anybody who's tuned in, please like the video. And also, the most important thing, please share the video to YouTube, Facebook, any social media so people could tune in and watch and help us to get to 2,000 subscribers. Short term goal, but you know where the long term goal is at. All right?
Okay.
Go ahead, QB.
I'm really curious at the ethnicity of these men. Now, I know there's some, and please, y'all, forgive me because I know we have multiple races in the chat. Please
Mm-hmm.
forgive me. But from my experience, most black men, unless they are desperate, they ain't going. They ain't going at all. They are not going to be nobody suck it up. And, I mean,
Wow.
y'all can correct me, men. Now, have y'all fallen for something on a low level? Yeah, me and y'all fell for the big booty, pretty girl, long hair in the hood or something like that. But on this level, where you spending thousands upon thousands of dollars, because you know if she booked business class flights, then she ain't booking no cheap ass hotel either. So I mean, you know. Anyway, go ahead. I'm sorry.
You know, there's always a lesson to every piece of article we read because the more we are reading this together, the more I'm learning is that, like, you know, all these people like that have been talking about like these different phrases, like women will break rules for alphas, but they'll make rules for betas. I'm like, you know, they are kind of right. And the reason why I'm saying this is because think about how her life were with the dudes that she was with, and I feel like no one is really. I for sure they probably thought about this, and that's why they add that piece to the article and mention about like dudes that were in jail, dudes who were splurging her money to buy weed. You know, you gave those type of dudes chances to pretty much, run you, use you, and I'm for sure they had sex with you. You know what I mean? But then yet, now the next men who do have this money, who are financially successful, they have to fund you? Maybe she may look good, but maybe she's like the hidden hood chick. Who knows? But Wally says they're way. Let's see. They're way in this story going. No, there's way this story going. I think it's something a little mixed up or whatever. But okay, I think he's trying to say there's way more to the story.
No, the way the story is going.
Oh, the way the story. Okay, thank you, QB. Okay, you forgot to put the thud in there, right? Anyways, the way the story is going, there's no bait being thrown. That dude got hooked straight silly.
Okay, she just threw a hook out there and caught him in the jaw.
Now QB. Now we're gonna go down real quick, right?
Okay.
Look at this fine print right here. Okay.
What it say?
So Lucas, Amber Lucas decided. Oh, I'm sorry, not decided. Sorry. No. Okay, yeah, she did decide. I'm looking at it the wrong way. So Amber decided against purchasing this Christian Dior handbag. She chose an $11,000 Chanel bag instead.
Let me look
Come on, people. Come on.
Christian Dior. Let me look up a handbag.
Like, I don't even know the prices of what a Christian Dior handbag will look like.
3,500, 3,000 to 5,000, like somewhere in that range. Definitely less than 11,000.
Wow. So imagine like, hey, how about this Christian Dior handbag? No, I don't want that. I want the $11,000 Chanel bag instead. That's perfect for me.
Mm-hmm.
All right. It's getting more interesting as we keep reading this. Shout out to B-Eazy Dat Dude. Thank you for tuning in. You guys are more welcome to hop up. The link is pinned in the chat, so feel free to slide through because man, this article is hilarious. So she lived in Paris for 3 months. He came to visit, usually when he was on a business trip in Europe. We'll visit places like the vineyards of the Loire Valley, you know. And correct me on my pronunciation if I'm not pronouncing right, QB. He says Christmas and New Year's were beautiful. We stayed at Chateau and what's it called? The
Bordeaux.
Man, these French words. Chateau in the in the Bordeaux with a private chef. A private. Come on, can I? Hey, you know what? I'm not even gonna go there, right? Because my wife, a private chef and a massage therapist.
Okay.
I mean, okay, hold on, right? Do you really need a massage therapist unless the guy's massage game is not good enough?
Okay, let's just go back to the chateau part. A chateau is a very elaborate, laid out. Think of what you would see over in Paris and England. Like a chateau is like the upper echelon, you know.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So they're already in this really nice place with these high ceilings and arches and columns and whatever.
Mm-hmm.
And they got a chef and a massage therapist. Okay.
Man, okay. Well, she, like I said, she is living lavishly. I'm telling you. What else? Let's see. Otherwise, we had the whole place to ourselves. We played hide and go seek at midnight. Okay. He took me to London and bought me my first Chanel bag. It cost about 11,000. And then let me see who's saying this. Are we at the point in our relationship when it's okay for me to buy you? Okay, so he's saying this. So are we at the point in our relationship when it's okay for me to buy you a bag? He asked. He told me to take my time choosing the right one. I was tempted to buy Christian Dior, but decided on Chanel. I thought, I'm so glad that I'm dating you. How many men would just march off and buy any bag without thinking twice?
Again, I'm looking on the Dior.com website right now. Their bags are $4,900, $6,037, all below $10,000. It's still pricey because that's a whole car note for me, but I mean, that's a couple car notes for somebody, and that's probably mortgage for 3 months for somebody. But but Chanel don't play when it comes to them bags.
Exactly.
She better get some insurance on that bag. That's all I gotta say.
Well, QB, but unfortunately, the relationship didn't last long. And I think when he asked, "Are we at the point in our relationship when it's okay for me to buy your bag?" Now, this could be in so many different meanings. Maybe at this point, he's trying to get some reassurance, affirmation, or confirmation that, okay, I'm spending these things for you. Like, are you okay with me buying you these expensive gifts? Am I doing too much? Maybe maybe a little bit of his alpha conscience, trying to tell him, yo, Brody, like you're doing it all wrong, man. You're doing it all wrong. Or maybe he's just trying to see what type of woman is she, and that could have been like a test, which he probably didn't mind. You know what I mean? But he probably wanted to see if she was going to go for something that was lesser, if she was going to decline, But as you can see, she went up to something that was bigger and better. Now,
$11,000. Just imagine right now in your life, without changing a lot, like what could $11,000 do for you, like right now?
pay for one of my debts.
Okay.
So,
Yeah,
and she probably still have that bag too, like like depreciating. But that's crazy.
yeah, because that bag does not earn any value. Like artwork, it appreciates in
So a
value.
big Rick slap. Mm-hmm.
Purses like that, unless you take good care of them, you put them on a shelf and don't ever use them, they don't appreciate in value.
Right, right.
Yo,
But, but
let me build real quick, y'all. What's good? What's good? What's good?
shouts to Mr. Intellectual Soapbox and
Good.
B-Eazy Dat Dude.
Easy. What
Hey,
up?
be
But
easy.
I had to get on this real quick. Look. Y'all sound a little bit like y'all got a little hateration up in y'all. Y'all
I
sound a little
showed
bit
the hell
hateration.
do.
Y'all got a little
Hateration.
hateration up in y'all. Listen, all right. Some people can afford filet mignon, and some people can have the big house on the hill with the big ass Rolex, and some people just can't. All right.
So
Some people could be Ric Flair, and some people can't.
she
Okay.
can't.
Some people could be Denzel Washington, and some people can't. All right. Listen, level up so that maybe you can get on that level or better. This man, for him, France was probably something that he did probably every once a month or every twice a month or whatever the hell he did it. It was nothing to him. Him buying that bag was nothing. It was easy. Easy work. You know what I mean? No hard work at all. You know what I mean? So here's the thing. Some people can go to Sizzler to have steak, and some people can go to Roof Chris. Some people
What?
can go to Red Lobster to get their shrimp, and some people can go to crustaceans. There is a difference. Okay? So, look, some people play the game on a different level. It just is what it is, man. This is what they call it, the land of opportunity. So
Mm-hmm.
she wanted to be amongst a certain crust of men. So she put herself in position.
But she
You know
didn't
what I'm
even
saying?
have what they had.
It don't matter. Doesn't matter.
Okay, Mr. Man.
Doesn't
Now you
matter.
feel
But
I'm gonna tell you why it doesn't matter. Because this is called capitalism, right? This is capitalism. Remember, we always say, I even say this: capitalism is not about morals and standards and values. It's not. It's about what you can afford. Okay? And if he could afford it, and she wanted to be around guys who can afford certain things, then that's just what it is. You know what I mean? This conversation is kind of pointless because, in a sense, she leveled up. You know what I
okay.
mean?
but
She said I ain't dating no more Burger King bums. You know what I mean? And I want to eat burgers on the jet like Meat Mills. So that's what she did. She leveled up.
but
She
did
leveled
you
up
read?
her dating acumen. She put herself in a better position. Now
Sister,
understand. Hey, D, what's good, baby? You know what I'm saying? She put herself in a better position based on the fact of her understanding. Okay, I'm a woman, and I know, salute, bro. I'm a woman, and I know that if I'm a woman and I move a certain way and I do certain things, you know what I'm saying? Guys are gonna go for me. Why? Okay. And it's something that I always tell sisters to do anyway. Why you gonna keep dating guys, right? Who barely want to even take you to a cheesecake factory. You don't even want to do that. He barely even know how to set up a date, right? He barely knows the difference between first class and business class. Matter of fact, he's never traveled. Okay? He ain't never been off the block. All right. Why you gonna keep selling for those? And we always get on sisters, right? We always say, you gotta choose better, right? Stop dating these guys who are bums. Stop dating the guys who are just making you baby mothers. So when this sister finally said, I ain't doing that shit no more, and I'm dating, I'm switching it up, I ain't got no problem with that. The thing is that when she made up her mind and decided to level up, she leveled up. That's just what it is. Now, if some of these guys feel like they suckers or y'all may look at them as suckers, then hey, that's on them. You know what I mean?
mm-hmm.
Something like that. Or I'm really telling you the game is to be sold, not to be told. That's a whole nother situation. You know what I mean? So here's the thing: when it comes to dating or anything else in this world, especially in America, it's about what you can get. Okay, and it's about putting yourself in position to get those things. If I can put myself in a position to get a Lamborghini instead of getting a Honda, guess what? I'm gonna put my ass in position, get that Lamborghini instead of driving that goddamn Honda. And that's just what it is.
And you're just
You
gonna
know
leave
what I
all
mean?
this collateral damage
Well,
in your way.
well,
It don't matter who you step on, how you get there. You don't.
She didn't
You
step
know.
on nobody.
But
wait, wait,
She
hold
was
on,
she was taking
hold on,
care, she was
best.
taking care of a bunch of bums. Hold on. She was taking care of a bunch of bums. She was talking to dudes in prison and all that. And she said, "I'm not doing that no more. I'm gonna only talk to the best in the world. No pun intended. I'm only gonna talk to those type of guys.
she
That's
don't even
it.
have the same income
It
as
don't
me.
matter. She switched her mentality up.
Wait, hold on, everybody, right? Let me make this disclaimer because I made it this disclaimer like this earlier, right? So just to keep in mind, right? Okay, I don't care what the lady does or whatever, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's not about like the person's character. It's about the lifestyle that's more intriguing. Okay, but I know you probably haven't read the entire article, so there's a little twist to it at the end, which is going to surprise like most people, or maybe not.
Okay, well let's get
but,
on.
But there's a point into like reading into the lifestyle aspects. Other than that, hey, she could do whatever she want to do and live lavishly. But you'll see once we continue.
I think she's fucking brilliant. But that's just me. I have part of me being a New Yorker. I have a Yankees mentality, and the Yankees mentality. The great George Steinbrenner, when he was running the Yankees, he always tried to sign the biggest and best free agent. Okay, he didn't care what he had to pay him. He always wanted to be around the best and have the best, and that's how you should live your life. You know what I mean? So, hey, I'm not saying that I'm not saying her morals and standards are A1. I'm not saying that shit at all. All I'm saying is she got tired of dating the dude that was in prison and all that shit, and she said, "Man, f that. I'm gonna do something better," and that's what she did. I don't know if B-Eazy wanted to say something. You know what I mean? But yeah.
Yeah, I know. B-Eazy, he gonna cook for sure. What
Ah
up, B-Eazy?
man, it was good, bro. It went so many different directions. I didn't even really know who this person is, care who this person is. So to a certain extent, it is kind of pointless. But since the topic is what it is, um, in a capitalist society, if she chooses to go this route to capitalize on the opportunity, cool. Like you were saying, it's about what you can get. But to say that maybe she personally she leveled up by the caliber of man she's dating, but her personally, she didn't describe anything she did to level up. Did she say she got toned? What I mean? She read more books, she earned her income, she leveled up by getting a membership to a dating site. So she leveled up her membership. She had the basic membership and she leveled up her membership. And then she got a dude to level her up. You know what I mean? And then I don't care about the dusty dudes that she was dating, right? Because if I go and have a soliloquy and say, man, I was dating all these thoughts, they had a high body count, they was ratchet, what is somebody gonna say? Like, bro, should have chose better, right? So what, we're supposed to give her credit because she was taking care of dusty dudes? But what if I was taking care of a single mom with 6 kids? They gonna say, oh, this is what you're supposed to do, right? But she's supposed to get credit for choosing dusty dudes and then taking care of them. No, she doesn't get no credit for that. And then, it's just a little bit. I don't know. It's just okay. So look, I come from the game, so I have no issues with it. But the contradictory nature is what she. I'm not saying anyone on the panel said this, but what she's done is cool. You can get what you could get, right? But if I mac on a chick and pimp on a chick or something willingly, and she willingly gives me her purse, oh, why are you taking advantage? Why are you doing that? I didn't force her to do nothing. I just gave her some game, and now she's willingly turning over this purse. Is she forcing that dude to buy the ticket to France? People are praising her. Go, girl, you could go get it. All right, cool. I'm gonna do the same thing. Oh, you're a bum. You need to get off and stop manipulating and taking advantage of women. But it's okay to take advantage of men. You know what I mean? And people say, oh, it's a man's purpose to provide and protect. It's not his purpose to be a trick and to be manipulated. You know what I mean? What does she really do to earn that trip to France? You know what I mean? I understand from the dude perspective, he's from the it ain't tricking if you got it mentality. But from her perspective, what does she really do to earn that? Buy an account and post some pictures. You know what I mean? See, this where the vagina worshiping just goes way, way out of control. What did she truly do to earn a trip to France? I don't care how much money I got. This is just the cloth that I come from. This is just my beliefs. I'm not saying anyone needs to feel this way. So I'm just espousing what I believe.
Mm-hmm.
A trip to France, okay, cool. I could see within the country, right? You flew her out, you know what I mean, from New York or something, but France, an entire different country where you got to make sure passports and visas and everything is A1. You get that just off the strength of sliding in the DM on a dating site. And we praise that because women could do that. But on the flip side, if I slide in a woman's DM and I say, hey, QB, could you fly me out to Brazil or to Bahamas? I'm the dusty dude. Why? Why am I so dusty? You know what I mean? But she's not. She's just a diva and she's just leveling up. It's not an issue for me to level up and knock a corporate boss babe chick that's going to cash out on me. You know what I mean? So it's like, the hypocrisy is kind of rampant in stories like this, but I don't have an issue with her.
No. This is okay. This is what I need to understand. If a dude do the same thing, he leveled up too. Listen, look. The game, like I said, the game is to be sold, not to be told. This is not about moral standards, values, and being a good person. This is not none of that. All right. This is a dog eat dog type of thing. Okay. And no, she didn't level up herself. Like, she didn't go and get an education or go get a better job. I never said that. I mean, y'all got to listen to what I'm saying. I said she leveled up her dating. Her the way that she started dating, she leveled up. You know what I mean? She said, I ain't doing that shit no more. You know what I mean? Salute the Six Boss. You know what I mean? Great interview, by the way. And I am going to start dating and putting myself in these type of circles. You know what I mean? Whether it's by buying a dating membership or whatever the hell she did. Outside of that, you know what I mean? She put herself in a position where she can now choose from a certain type of menu. She ain't like the food that was on one menu. She left that restaurant, went to another restaurant. That's all she did. She didn't become a better person. She didn't become a politician. Ain't none of that shit happen. You know what I'm saying? All she did was just say, you know what? I'm switching up the way that I'm doing things. And that's just what it was. You know what I mean? And that's just what it is. So if a guy does the same thing, hell, salute to him. You know what I mean? Hey, that's just part of the game. That's why you got to teach, people that you care about to look out for people who are playing the game in that way, man. You got to teach them. Look, there are going to be people who just want to use you for certain things. Whether it's your money, whether it's your body, or whether it's other things you have, you got to be aware of these people. If not, then guess what? If they use you up, they're not going to jail. All right? They're just going to move on to the next person. And that's just what it is. And that's just the game. You just got to learn how to play the game. And that's it.
Well, only the few know about that type of game. But unfortunately, if you look at it in society's standpoint, society's game is that, look, anything that the woman do, there's going to be praise and worship over it. Anything that the man do, that's the same thing that the woman's doing, there's going to be negative consequences. Like in the beginning of the article, what people said the most, oh, they're immature. We're immature. We're dusty. We're whatever. Okay? The fact that, we're the dusty ones for using this poor woman up while she's doing the same thing to the rich man, that's absurd. But hey, I
She's not.
digress on.
Yeah, she's not a Destiana, right?
Yeah.
She's go. You go, girl. That's the energy. I'm like, hold on.
Right.
This is what
Self
y'all
love.
fought for, right? Equal. Y'all want everything to be equal and egalitarian, right? So it's like, cool.
Hmm.
Well, let's keep that same equality energy. I have to
Hmm.
judge you by the same standards that you wanted to be judged, right? This is not me saying that. The women are saying we want to be treated like men and paid the same wages as men. All right, cool. So you got to face the same backlash and criticism as men, right?
Hmm.
Stop me when I'm wrong.
Now you're preaching. But let's go ahead and continue this article because there's more. Like I said, I'm not even judging the woman's character because I don't care about her character like that. But the lifestyle is very intriguing of how some people, quote unquote, level up. Now, in continuing with this, right after when the guy brought her the $11,000 Chanel bag, is it Chanel? Yep. They split up because work got in the way. She says, we had some great talks about business. He gave me advice and refined my business idea. QB, this goes back to what you was talking about. It doesn't seem like she's looking for love, and at this point, she's not really looking for love. She's looking for a come up to improve in her upcoming, soon to be established business. And at the same time, I'm not going to knock her for what she's doing because it's basically, some people will call it female nature or whatever, but I call this human nature. It's basically survival of the fittest. Okay? You got to do what you got to do to survive. And she says, in April, we came to a fork in the road. We broke up. It was the right person, as she says, the right person, but the wrong time. We had a lot going on in our work. We parted as friends. Intellectual SoapBox says neither man or woman want equality. You all want comfort. And maybe that's so. I mean, we say about this equality stuff though, but when it comes to our actions, I don't see the equality to it. Equality at our
Exactly.
finest convenience.
See, we know that we don't want it, and that's just why, it gets annoying to constantly have to hear people advocate and say, yes, we should have it and we want it. And then, all right, cool, let's give it to you. No, no, that's not what we want. It's like, this is equality, right? This is what the whole fight was about. We understand this, but, it's just annoying to constantly deal with, you know, um, the hypocritical nature of all of this.
No, I feel you though. Yeah, the way I just deal with it, it's like, hey, I just move on and just focus on like what can I do around my own, core circle.
Oh yeah, absolutely. No, well, I'm
Hmm.
just speaking in generally. Like, I
Hmm.
definitely wouldn't like be losing sleep over anything like this. I'm just
Yeah,
making a general sentiment. So let's just get that very clear. Like, this article doesn't impact me in any way. I never would
right,
be caught in this situation, but it is cool, for a deeper discussion to point out, the nuances, of the thing, and also QB could speak to this. I mean, if she'd like, because I'm not a female, so I'm just going to give, from a male perspective. But most of these situations like that, when these women are viewing these men as tricks, what I mean, they may not call them that, but when they view them as tricks, a lot of these relationships, they don't really last. They end up partying as friends, like she said, or worse than that. But I don't understand why women put so much value on bags when these dudes literally are vagina worshiping. Dudes will like suck toes, drink dirty bath water, and that's what you wearing sweats in Walmart. You don't even need that purse. So when this chick is saying that she was coming from dating Dusties and not having this type of income,
mm,
I don't know if you could leverage a dude to buy you a bag, you can leverage him to give you that in cash or buy something tangible. She should have got her business. She sound like she's trying to get her business jumping. You should have got your business jumping before you even thought about a bag. You should have told them, "Oh no, thank you. I love this bag, but I'd rather have this." Like for 11,000, just type up on what type of car you can get for 11,000. Pretty decent car, right? You could even drive the
Mm-hmm.
car or flip it. What could you really do with the bag? I don't even care if the dude was insisting on it. He's only insisting on it because a lot of chicks be holding value and asking for these types of shit. So I'm just saying, you spending 11,000, 20,000 on bags. Certain cities and states, you can buy property for that, plots of land for that. But you
Mm-hmm.
rather have a bag? That's weird as fuck to me. And you also say you're trying to level up your lifestyle. How? By supporting someone else's name? Michael Kors, Christian Dior, Louis Vuitton, all that shit is someone else's name. They barely even be wearing they shit. They be wearing flip flops and just regular ass tees while you go and splurge on their stuff. So that stuff kind of
Hmm.
blows my mind.
Mm. I, I I mean I hear you. Um, and I don't even know what business she's trying to run, but I mean, look, hey, obviously, like she's learned the game very well from her quote unquote mistakes, and now she's finding rich people that's going to fund her personal lifestyle. But so
But
far,
if
what
she
we're
know
seeing
the
is,
game, she don't know the game well. That's what I'm saying. Because if she did, this is what she
yeah,
would have had. Those
yeah,
bags hold no value. They cost 11,000, but you can't sell it for 11,000, bro. Go buy a Maserati. Whatever
mhm,
price you pay, hit a U-turn and go back to the dealership and see if they pay you what you just paid for it. So all the shit
mhm,
that she got holds no value. Even the trips to France. What monetary value does that have? Memories in Instagram posts and reels, and she can get on Snapchat. You know what I mean? She has a souvenir from France. You know what I mean? So it's like clearly she doesn't really. I mean, she knows the game at a rookie level, but this is definitely not a blueprint for anyone that's trying to come up in the game. You know what I mean? If you want to learn off her mistakes and where she was lacking, and show how she's pretty much inadequate in her practicing of the game, then you can use that. But yeah, she's definitely dropped the ball, because she even said that she said he was the right dude, but it wasn't the right time. If he was the right dude, then you drop the ball. You can try to say it wasn't the right time. That's like, oh, this
mhm,
was the right job or this was the
mhm,
right apartment, but it's not the right time. You know what I mean? Like, you gonna get married to your wife. It's the right woman, just not the right time. Okay, eventually the right time is gonna come, right? You wouldn't
mhm.
try to separate from that because this is the right job, right? This is the right person, the right car. So that even in her statement, she's kind of like backtracking and being hypocritical, but that's not a shocker, is it?
All right,
Well,
real quick.
let me let me.
Wait, hold on,
Oh, go ahead.
hold on, Bess. I just gotta make sure QB is also in the building too. QB is still
Yeah,
here.
I'm still here. I'm listening. I'm letting y'all
Okay,
talk.
okay, okay. Go ahead, Mr. Best.
All right, let me say this, y'all. Let me say this. So this tale is twofold, right? One, I'm gonna say as far as Amber, you know what I mean, like, hey, you know what I mean, you know, she wanted to do something. She went for hers. She got she got some of the things that she was looking for, and I guess some of the other things she was looking for. She kind of like, I'm cool off of that, and I made a decision. But here's the thing: this is what we have to realize. See, a lot of the times, and this could even be an older man, it could be a middle aged man, it could be a younger man. A lot of times where there's certain guys that get a certain amount of money or they get a certain amount of wealth, that doesn't mean that they automatically know how to talk to women, right? Doesn't mean that they automatically know how to date. Doesn't mean that they automatically know what to spend and what not to spend, and what to do and what not to do. You know what I mean? So clearly, to me, this guy probably maybe has not even dated a lot of women or even been around a lot of women. You know what I'm saying? Because for me, number one, as a man, if you are a man and you are meeting a woman, and let's say you are making six figures or more, let's say you can take a trip to France whenever you want. right? There's certain conversations that need to be had. So for the simple fact that she's just able to just get up and just kind of leave that situation and it just be whatever, then yeah, like certain conversations just wasn't had on his part. You know what I'm saying? As a man, you gotta make things understood. Look, this is what it is, this is what it's not, this is what we doing, this is what we not doing, and that's it, and that's all. Especially if you are paying for everything. If you're paying for everything, yo, you communication on your end needs to be clear. You know what I mean? And she needs and communication on her end needs to be clear as well. And she needs to understand what is happening and what is not happening. You know what I mean? And if you think at any point that she's not trying to be on your program, she ain't trying to be with your plan, she ain't trying to be on your time, then she's not fit for you. You know what I mean? Because you're just gonna be throwing away money, and at the end of the day, you're gonna say, you know what? I'm good. Just like Amber did. I'm good. You know what I mean? You don't want to leave the door open for I'm good. You know what I mean? You want to see that I'm good before it happens to you. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. So before she hits the exit, you give her the exit. You know what I mean? You open the exit, you make sure that she exit before she gives you the exit, basically. You know what I mean? Because if not, then you're gonna end up like this guy who done spend all this money, and she says, I'm good. No. You can avoid all that. You know what I mean? That's just communication. Like I said, game is to be sold, not to be told. You know what I mean? Y'all want more of this game? Y'all can hit me up in the DM. Hell, some of y'all can call me directly. You know what I mean? And I'll let you know what it is, man. It's not hard. It's not hard at all. You can avoid the Ambers of the world. You could. They can be avoided. They can be avoided. You know? And a lot of it, too, is the power of no or the power of why. You know what I mean? You ask them, well, why? Why do you want to do this? Or why do I have to buy this? That changes everything. Mm-hmm. With that being said, y'all, I'm bouncing out. You know what I mean? Welcome, Queen. Good to see you. But yeah, I'm stepping away. Later, y'all.
All right. So, Queen, we got Queen in the building. Now, Queen, just to tell you, this is what the topic is about. It's about a lady named Amber Lucas, okay? Mm-hmm. Now, I'm not going to say she's a gold digger because that's not where I'm coming from. But she's living
she ain't messing with no broke nigga.
Right. But, you know, for the sake of this, like, she is living...
Not anymore.
So, you got to follow... You want to follow along as we continue, Queen, but... It's gonna make sense as we continue going, right? All right, so
the article goes on.
Yeah.
Okay.
How deep did they go into this,
bro? I'm telling you, right? Like once you kind of get to the end, you're gonna really discover the shocking truth of people like her, right?
Okay.
Like, this is not meant to bash her or anything like that, but it's a life learning lesson for all. Okay. So. She says, I dated a couple more guys on Seeking. They were smart and interesting, but I connected with a man who lived in the Bay Area too. He was in another one in his 50s, right?
Okay.
Man, these 50-year-olds, man, I'm telling you. Okay, so
M3, I don't know what's shocking about this.
You'll see when we get to the end. Because as I'm going to break everything down, right?
This has been going on before any of us have been alive.
True.
I know.
But I'm talking about more for like, you know, a lesson like, you know, for her part, you know. But don't worry.
Okay.
I'll get to it.
Okay. Damn, yeah. M3 with the suspense is built. Bro, do you got any sound effects? Like I know you got the soap opera. Do you got any horror? Cause you come in with the suspense, bro.
Okay.
Hey, that's how you build an algorithm. Look, man.
Hey, I feel you, cuz.
You know, I got you a little bit.
Okay, if you don't, I'm gonna send you something later, bro.
All right, for sure. All right, let me go ahead and finish this article up, right? Because let me see. So this is her, you know, her visit in London, courtesy of her multi-millionaire date. Okay, we get it. So he asked if I would like to join him on a business trip to Seattle. We stayed at a 5-star hotel near the city center. I did my own thing when he was in meetings. He gave me his credit card. Damn, another one? And told me to book stuff for us to do for when we finish working. He told me to have a spa day and go shopping. No more shop. That my song was no more shopping sprees. Anyways, um, with everything on him, I asked ahead of time if I could buy a bag. He says yes. So I purchased a what's it called?
What
How
is
you
it?
let's
A
see,
Celine bag.
a Celine bag. Okay, okay. So I purchased a Celine bag that cost a few thousand
Thousand.
dollars, and he also paid for me to fly first class to see my family on the East Coast. I think first class was a waste of money when you travel domestically, but not on an international flight. Okay, at
Now
least
she cares about wasting money.
okay. This is where some kind of moral started kicking a little bit, right?
Hey, could you hit the soap
Uh,
opera music for me, please?
Let me see. Let's see what I got in my arsenal. You know what? Hold on. You
She
know what, be
doing too
easy?
much.
I might not have it. You know what, be easy? You might have to send me some of these sounds then.
Okay, I got you once I get off because I'm on my phone right now. But I'll be home in like an hour.
Okay, for sure though. Either way is much appreciated. Okay,
Yeah, it's
so
all good. I already got it on my desktop, so I could just email it to you.
okay, for sure. Um, what else he says? Let's see. He also paid for. Let's see. You get to your destination looking alive, not half dead. I'm going to have to work hard to become an amazing entrepreneur. Sorry, I'm going to have to work, right? I'm sorry. That part made me laugh when she said work, right? I haven't heard that come from her mouth in a minute. I have to work hard to become an amazing entrepreneur to afford it. I don't know whether I could ever go back to economy. So basically,
Girl.
like yeah, the low class flights. So this is an example of dating up or whatever. So once you go to a certain lifestyle, you can't go back. And then she says, we had a lot of fun. He's a self-made millionaire who didn't always have it easy. He matter of fact, hold on. What's the sad music real quick? Hold on, wrong one. So he's a self-made millionaire who didn't always have it easy. He was raised in a single-parent household. He pulled himself up by his bootstraps with no longer dating. Wait, hold on, wait a minute, hold on. Damn. Okay, I wasn't expecting this. We're no longer dating, but I learned some useful things from him. All right, so another
She,
person,
she-
right?
she's literally finding. So this is the thing, right?
Mm-hmm.
Those dudes was dusty that she was dealing with before, and those dusty niggas should have got their act together. However, she had issues with the dusties. It wasn't working out, right? Then
Right.
she gets with multiple millionaires and it wasn't working out. I mean, come on now. Is it the dusties or the millionaire? I mean, what is the common denominator? Her.
Her.
She's the Dusty.
Exactly. Thank you, Queen. I was waiting for Queen to say that because this is getting out of hand. Because I'm not Team Dusty in no way. But she was saying I bailed people out of jail. I was helping a dude who lived with his mama. Okay, now you dealing with men who will fly you to France. Men who could help you fund your business. Men who could tell
And
you
they
how to run
still
a
can't
business.
keep them.
And it just keeps just working out because they just horrible self-made millionaires that pull themselves up by their bootstraps per her words.
Mm-hmm. Oh, and don't
And they
forget.
don't and they don't like gold diggers or dusties.
Mm-hmm. And don't forget, though, she helped fund people who was splurging their own money or her money for bags and bags of weed.
Hey,
You know?
yeah, and peep this. And see this where that delusion parts come in because women like her, because this is not all women, but I'm saying women that has her mentality, the reason why they dealt with the Dusty Juice to begin with, because you know her they probably had a good sex game, you know what I mean? So you know that's all they were doing was laying pipe. So she was dealing with the Dusty because they was laying pipe, and then she wasn't satisfied because they were financially immature. Now she dealing with these older guys in their 50s plus, and maybe they're sexual dynamos, maybe they're not, but financially they are mature. So she's trying to dib and dabble and get the best of both worlds, but somehow it's just not working out for her. You know what I mean? You can't have it all. But now she's saying she's flown first class, and now she's saying, I was dusty before, but now I can't go back to being dusty because these men have funded my lifestyle,
From
and
Dusty
now
to
I have a
Classy.
taste of it. And now she's saying she's still trying to become an entrepreneur. She's already the first millionaire she dealt with could have made her an entrepreneur if she wasn't worried about how much did that trip cost to go see your family. You didn't really even need to, you could have video chatted with your family, save that money and put it towards your business. But she wanted to live this luxurious lifestyle that she couldn't afford dealing
On her own.
by
Yeah.
herself and with
Hmm.
Dusty's. And now she's just taking advantage of these men, and it's almost making it seem as like it didn't work out because something on their end. I don't hear a lot of accountability on her part. Maybe I'm misreading it. What y'all think?
No, no, you're in the money on this one. Let me read this last part of the article because we're almost at the end of this one. Okay. And this is the part right where reality is going to hit. Okay. She says, I found that patience is not a common trait among high flyers. Okay. I've worked in corporate America for almost 10 years. Why it took her so long to even for her to even talk about any of her occupations. But anyways, she worked in corporate America for 10 years. I'm not I'm not ignorant about business. Okay. About business dealings. I've done a lot of reading. It was nice to meet someone with the same intellect. Okay. I'm worried that people who were super successful will be intimidated. Hold on. I'm worried that people who were super successful will be intimidated. Okay. But I had a peek behind the curtain. They get lonely and they want company, just like anyone else. Here we go with this part. As for the sex, over the past year or so, I've never had such good sex. Let me rephrase this again, right? So everybody can understand this. As far as for sex, okay, over the past year or so, she's talking about these men that she encountered. She never had such good sex. Okay, meaning that the shocking truth to this part is that when you go back, oh, the so-called Dusties, in her eyes, compared to the men that she was dating. So it doesn't matter about how much money that you have, how many times you can take on trips. If your sex game is weak, hey man, it's not gonna last that long. And she tried to mask it as far as like it is on them because they're millionaires, they have business trips or whatever, and so on and so on. But flat out, they wasn't sexually attractive. And if you think about this, I'm not trying to shit on the old dudes, but look who the dudes that she was with, and look at the dudes that was funding her. It was men that was in their 50s. And then in the last paragraph it says there is a slight drawback with these businessmen. However, patience is a part, right? Patience is not their strongest suit. Now she's saying patience is not their strongest suit. They're used to people saying yes to everything that they want and when they want it. I've learned that it's okay to say no. Hold on, what's my nope sound effects, right? If they can't handle that, they're not the person I'm trying to partner with.
Mm,
And this is after she just said she's not going back to flying economy,
well,
right? She can't even. So imagine if her man was gonna fly her, and he said, you know what? Look, hey, we've been boning together for 3 months. I don't think I need to keep. You don't need to keep flying first class. Go back to economy. Would she just take that lightly, right? So she's saying that you got to tell them no, even though they're funding everything. They're saying yes to everything she wants. You want a bag? Yes. You want to go fly and see your parents? Yes. You want to go to France? Yes. You want to get this? Yes. And then she's saying but you got to tell them no. And if they can't accept me telling them no, I'm not saying she needs to be a slave, but what has she said that she has done to get this stuff, right? Is this really what we want to promote? Just go buy a membership, a premium membership to one of these and hope to find some hapless millionaire that will fly you and travel all, you know what I mean? Like what she's not saying what she did to do that. Did you send some explicit pictures? Did you make some explicit video? Like what did you do to get all of these trips? Oh no, I just made a website and you know what I mean? Because she should write a book. You know what I mean? I'm being facetious with this stuff, but she should write a book and sell a course. You know what I mean? If this is all you have to do is just get on there and she can make all of these royal demands. She went from being dusty as ever to now she's making queens like demands like she's Meghan Markle or something like that. Like what? Like what? This is. I mean, I'm not shocked by any of it, but is very morally egregious to say the least.
Well, the moral of this story pretty much is that like you could come out and graduate from the hood, but the hood is always going to be within you no matter where you go. The same ones who you judge as broke, dusty, immature, uh, ignorant, you're speaking about yourself. And the shocking part is that some of these people that talk about these people without taking zero accountability for how they put themselves into, you don't the sad part is that you don't even know that you're speaking about yourself. This whole story is pretty much like a twist, where it's like somebody did something to you that you didn't like, and now you're doing it back to these guys. But you don't. But the shocking part, what was baffling is that you don't really see that you attract the ones, like, by nature. Okay, what's that term called, right? You are who you attract. You know what I mean? So you're no better than the ones who you try to put down in the beginning. And salutes to like Alonzo Hall. Let me get my air horn.
Correct, because she said she was supporting a dude who was living on his couch and could barely pay rent, right?
Mm-hmm.
She even said herself that she had to scrounge up funds and she could barely even afford a trip to France by herself. Like, it's not my words, that's what she said. First of all, if you're scrounging up funds to go on a vacation, then you shouldn't even be going on vacation, right? That's a distorted view of reality that you feel I gotta live my best life and go on vacation even though I can't afford it. I'm gonna scrounge up the funds to barely afford it, even though I could pay some other things or pay down some other debt or invest this money. I need to live my best life and go, that's neither here nor there. She admitted that she couldn't afford the trip. That sounds kind of dusty, right? And then the dude that's able to fund the trip, now she thinks she knows more than him. Now she believes this person owes her something. She's entitled to first class now, simply by virtue. Oh, well, you're a millionaire. If you're gonna fly me out, it must be first class. What if I'm a millionaire and I'm gonna say, all right, look, baby, I'm gonna fly you out. It's gonna be first class, right? No, I'm gonna fly you economy. What? Like, no,
Mhm.
why are you complaining? I'm paying for the round trip. But now, since it's not first class, you know what I mean? You want to demonize me, but we just accept that. That's a form of pocket watching and pocket policing. Look, I'm gonna pay for your trip, right? You come out here, and the whole hotel ain't gonna be 5 stars, it's gonna be 3.5 star. That's a really good hotel, bruh. But if it ain't
Mhm.
5 star, then what? I'm a horrible human. If I pay for your round trip, but you fly economy, I'm a loser. You know what I mean? Like, that's
Yeah.
essentially what she's saying without saying that.
But be easy to also add into that, right? But you know what made her the hero at the end, right? Because remember, she had to start off by defending herself because people with common sense and common judgment would be like, you know, you're a gold digger, right? But at the end of it, she made herself to be this victorious hero by teaching women that it's okay to say no to these millionaires, these high value men or whatever that's funding your lifestyle after all what they poured out to, okay, to help you get to where you're at. Ladies, make sure you still say no to sex. If it's bad, make sure you say no. If he tries to negotiate and try to like, offer something less, this whole value, sorry, this whole lesson that she's trying to teach out is that look, you can start from rags to riches as long as you go to a dating site, find yourself a person that's going to upgrade your lifestyle. But at the end of it all, you're a true hero when you're able to say no to their demands, even though they have a right to place demands if they're doing all this spending on one person. Ladies, what you guys think?
Is this advice you would give your daughter?
That's a good question. Go ahead, QB.
Well, to answer be easy, no, I would not give my daughter advice. I guess because I operate from a different school of thoughts, and I really believe that because of my spiritual beliefs, what you put out, you get back. Everybody doesn't believe that concept. That's fine. However, I try to be mindful of what I put out there because I feel like when I got married, I got a lot of shit back that I did in my past. Like, yeah. So I believe in karma. I really do. Um, I feel like she saw a window of opportunity, and I feel like she kind of fumbled the ball in a lot of ways. Okay, she talked about how she wanted to start a business. She was starting a business. Okay, take that $11,000 that man bought, pay for that purse, invest that into your business. What do you need for your business to grow and get started and get off the ground? Do you need a product? Do you need a team? Do you need like what? Legal stuff? Invest in your business. I just saw this pretty girl with the assets, physical assets to get what she wanted. Like I mentioned earlier, she is she has the body. She is racially ambiguous, so you don't really know what her ethnicity is. She falls in that exotic character category, which I really hate. But she falls in that exotic category, and so there are men who have a fetish, a loving towards those kind of women, and so she was able to manipulate the situations to suit her. That's really what it was. And instead of her taking the knowledge that they gave her freely, doing their little pillow talk or whatever they did to apply to her business, she still was all about the money and all about the lavishness of it all. Anyone who's really playing the game, who got a true business mindset, they gonna lay there and let you little suck and kiss on this and that. But you best believe they taking notes and they applying it to their business. And so when they time come to dip, they still got something to fall back on. I mean, that's what I would have done if I'm gonna put myself, if I'm gonna become a paid prostitute, escort, whatever you want to call it. That's exactly what it was for the most part. She was a high paid hooker. Anyway, I could be wrong. Forgive me, y'all, but
No, you're
she's.
not wrong. And without saying too much, I know personally, the escorting prostitution game extensively, and what she was doing was exchanging, because escorting the service is exchanging time and companionship for monetary value. What you do in that time as consensual adults, it's not my business, right? You're consenting adults, y'all can do whatever you want. But I'm paying for you. The service that you're offering is time and companionship. And
Mm,
I'm compensating you for that. Just like, hey, if you need a mechanic, they're going to come and perform mechanical services. You need an escort, they come and perform compassionate services. And, within those confines, it can get very broad, and purposely convoluted, you know what I mean? But yeah, what she was doing definitely could and should constitute as escorting. And just so people know, escorting is legal in California. You can even get an escort
mm,
license, yeah, like if you wanted to be a escort QB, which I'm not advocating for, all you would need to do is you can be like a private contractor, you know what I mean? So
what?
you would, yeah, you can be a licensed escort because it's legal. It's kind of the skirting around prostitution. That's why I was talk about the contradictory nature where they will demonize pimps, who are predominantly black, and say, hey, you're wrong, and I'm not talking about the gorilla ones that are forcing chicks. Like, that's something separate. I'm talking about the chicks that are already hoeing, and then since we talk about capitalism, the pimps come and capitalize on the opportunity of the chicks wanting and needing a pimp, right? Those men get demonized, pandering, and look, hoeing and prostitution, the chicks get a misdemeanor, a slap on the wrist. If I'm caught pandering, they'll slap all sorts of charges. You may be looking at some football numbers, 5 to 10 or more.
Mm,
However, an escort company, who is that run by? Predominantly non-black people, and they're doing the same thing in a legal fashion. It's just like dispensary. If I'm standing on the block selling weed versus the non-black person that has a business selling weed, what is the difference? You don't
mm,
like that I have a do-rag and I'm standing on the corner? I'm selling a couple ounces. That dispensary is selling a couple tons. Who is demonized? I'm seen as a thug drug dealer who should be locked up. They're seen as a legitimate business. Pimps on the street seen as, you gotta lock them up. What are they doing to those poor girls who chose them up willingly? The escort companies, hey, it's just a legitimate business. Something to
mm.
consider.
Well, okay. Now, what? There was a lady who was in prison. I can't think of her name, but she ran with Epstein. Giselle. No, not
Elaine,
Giselle.
yeah, something Maxwell.
Wasn't she considered like an escort? Something.
Yeah, she probably was an escort, but her specific title would have been like a madam, which is kind
Yeah.
of like yeah, like a lady pimp, who either does her own has her own enterprise, or she's part of the organization where she is recruiting girls, helping to turn them out, you know what I mean, and say, hey, look, it will be all good, or like, hey, won't you come to this island with these rich people, you know what I mean?
It's so much that's going on under the. I mean, we wonder why all of these Lifetime movies are. The stories came from somewhere. They're not. A lot of them will say made or inspired by a real story, real life. And I'm sure there's still some more things going on out there that we just have no clue about, or we know but we don't care.
It's more of
Jeez.
the latter. We know but don't care, because unfortunately this is what happens. You get so numb to all of the disrespect, the disparagement, the depravity, the crime, the violence, the mayhem. So unfortunately, due to people's short attention span, a constant effort to distract you, people tune this stuff out and go seeking for anything that will purposely distract them, because you got to actually face the real stuff, and it's ugly, and it's constantly hitting you every day. It's like every day, it's nonstop, and people get tired of it, and I definitely got to speak on the stuff that happened in LA, what I mean, with the racist people coming out. But I mean, I don't see a lot of people talking about it. I don't see Latinos saying anything about it. I don't see enough blacks saying anything about it. So when you hear George Floyd stuff, then it's like, oh, okay, we gotta rally for that. But it's like,
Mhm.
you're already getting screwed over politically. Some people in your family are screwing you over. Some people in your own neighborhood, with the crime and all the stuff. It's like you're getting screwed over on every level, but instead of doing anything about it, you want to run and tweet and then watch a Netflix show. You want to watch Jeffrey Dahmer and say, man, we should protest this shit. Like, you watched it though. Like, you know what I mean? And some people thought it was really good, and it actually really happened, right? You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
but yeah, they did romanticize it, but it's like, look, instead of you crying, hey, I got film equipment. I got professional film equipment. You want to brainstorm it, and let's come up with something. We can film a movie. Oh no, I'd rather watch another Netflix show that I could get outraged about. You know
Hmm.
what I mean? I'd rather read another book by a non-black person. Well, hey, let's use all these great minds and come up with a book. So it's a certain point where I heard someone saying that it's like, you know, um, we're like addicted. We've been conditioned this way, but now it's become to a point where we have want to make the struggle so much a part of our identity. You know what I mean? And people, it's understand, because I know to a certain extent, it's like, okay, QB can't identify with the struggle, so she ain't one of us. You know what I mean? Like that. That's kind of the mentality. That it's kind of the litmus test, right? There's a
Yeah.
struggle litmus test where people want to see how much you struggled to determine if you qualify to be at the cookout. You know what I mean?
Baby.
This is just only the black litmus test. You know what I mean? We'll let any other non-black group in if they just say, you feel me, they have some hot sauce and they can, do whatever the newest dance is. But with us, it has to be a struggle. I come from, I come from doing a lot of, you know, uh let's just say things that in the streets that I wasn't like, too proud of, you know what I mean? Like some things that I did for survival things, but it's a lot of people that are talking about that and promoting that stuff, and they have nothing to do with it. They don't know anything about it, but that's what they hold, that's what they hold in high regard. People that grew up in great areas, they want to come, they want to be a part of the struggle, right? Man,
Hmm.
even though I grew up in the burbs, nobody wants to be looked at as a square. So I got to be shown that I've endured some sort of struggle. You know what I mean? It's like people are trying to prove their blackness, and some people are trying to test your blackness too, right? Like, M3, man, you ain't hard, man. You grew up in. It's like, does he really need to be hard? Like, we can't all be hard, right? I mean,
Yeah.
we can't. So, and this is the thing. Like, this is where we are kind of racially clueless in a point. It's like, you're supposed to be having different factions and contingents of people for different things. If you got some thug cats, don't be demonizing them. You know what I mean? Because when stuff hit the fan, when some January 6th type people come, it's not going to be the point Dexters that's going to be rioting. Let's be honest. Those keyboard dudes is going to be hiding. It's going to be the Pookies and Ray Rays that's going to be out there rioting. So why would you be demonizing them and acting just like, they have no value to you? If anything, you should be doing like the nation is doing. Most of their people are ex-felons. You know what I mean? that have the propensity to turn themselves around and do better. You know how many cats that came out of the pen that's like making like hundreds of thousands of dollars now? But oh, it's just a Pookie and Ray Ray, right? Okay, cool. And then on the flip side, it's just an educated lame. Most of them cats have been lame, right? Don't stand up for themselves. Definitely ain't standing up for the community. Running and saying, "Hey, look, I'm gonna go be with this group and all this stuff." Okay, so just as much as you're saying I shouldn't respect Pookie and Ray Ray, how should I respect you? You know what I mean? What are you doing that's respect worthy? You know what I mean? So it's like both of these factions, you know what I mean, just gotta you know what I mean, gotta come together, you know what I mean? So it's like we gotta utilize everybody for what they're able to do. Like M3, in the gamer community, it's a lot of those dudes that are smart, bro, but they may not be the best with talking with girls or something like that, but they can fix your computer from scratch. I don't need a bunch of Casanovas and Don Juans on my team. You know what I mean? What is that? What does that help me when my computer breaks down? And everybody on my team, yeah, you know how to talk to girls, but you don't know how to, you know what I mean? You don't know how to change a tire. You know what I mean? So we all serve a purpose differently. And if we focus on our similarities, then it will be easier to hash out our differences, or at least accept our differences, because I mean nobody is going to agree with each other all the time, but that's kind of like my little sidebar soliloquy.
Yeah. Hold on for a second. Shout out to Mr. Killer. I haven't seen you in a minute. Shout out to you, sis. Yeah, man. Like, we definitely like, here's the thing. Like, not every guy, has to be perfect as far as like, you got to have the lingua in there. I like how you broke it down, because like you have the smart ones, but they're socially awkward. Maybe on the social scale. And it's kind of funny that way, because the ones like who are the most smart sometimes are the most socially awkward, because they spent most of the time in the books
By themselves, yeah, like reading, studying how to do stuff. And then on the flip side, most of the cats is either popular or maybe on some dusty stuff. Dusty niggas stick together, you know what I mean, right? So they might be, more social, more funny, more easy to be around. And then also, let's be honest, you do learn from the struggle. When you don't have something, that's how you develop game and how to be more cunning, into basically use your mouthpiece, your clout, your influence to get what others already are able to get based off their inherent status or financial position, you know what I mean? So that's essentially what game is to you too, you know what I mean? Like, dudes will be like, man, I took this dude's chick, right? Because of game. He had to develop the game, because typically at one point in time he was at a lesser position. Maybe he's still in the lesser position, but that's how you do. It's almost like you want to interview, right? And maybe M3 is more qualified than me on paper, but I have more game than him. And this actually has happened too, because let's say you were that super gamer, right? You got all the accolades, but then when you go in the interview, and I read it was a stat, they said it's like only 85%. They said the interviewers only really, they said they forget 85% of what you say in the interview. They really don't want 15% of the meat and potato, right? And then they read your body language. Right. So most of it is reading your body language. So if you're over there sweating, right, you're over there like kind of stuttering and stammering, it doesn't matter what knowledge you actually possess. They're looking at you and saying, yeah, but is it going to be translatable to the team? So if a dude that maybe not has as much as your education, but is able to be more eloquent with his delivery of words, that will be the selling point right there, because you can speak in a way that you sound more knowledgeable, and which is more comprehensible than someone that has all of the knowledge as you, if not more, but it's kind of stuttering, kind of sort of be
Right.
awkward.
Be
What you
easy.
think, M3?
So I was going to like add on to that because this was a story that my dad taught me that really helped me to achieve well in these interviews. So a story that he remembers that at one point he didn't know or wasn't for sure how to like deliver when it comes to being interviewed for jobs. But there was this one friend, and he didn't really have a lot of life skills at the time. Of course, he had to learn that from getting hired, of course. But the way how he got hired was because of his charisma. He was like, man, how you be getting all these interviews? And you get accepted to each interview. He was like, man, I'm just confident. I come to the interviews. I socialize with them. I talk to them like they're my peers, but not like in a disrespectful way, more in a professional way. And then he asked some questions. How you doing? How's the company running? What makes you think that I should be what was that word he says? How they ask you like, okay, questions like, do you think that you're qualified for the job? And then I would ask them, well, is this the company that I should be in? Is this the right company for me? Can you tell me, okay, what makes you so great amongst the other companies that I could go after? I would ask them those type of questions. So right then, when my dad taught me about like having that charisma, that really helped me out my interviews. Plus, I'm always prepared, with writing down notes. So the part that always gets them, and I always laugh about this. Okay, with the job that I work for now, we sat down, three managers asked me all kinds of questions. Okay, answered all the questions, and now I was like, well, I have this little piece of paper because now I have some questions for you. And they were shocked. They was like, oh wow. Like we never really had nobody, it's so rare that somebody will come, especially with a list, to ask questions about us. And I just asked them directly, like, hey, what do this company do? Where are you guys like? What is this a non-hostile work environment? I have to know these things, even for myself, to see if you guys are the right candidate for me. And I just tell them straightforward. And yeah, that's how you get hired, pretty much. But you can't. But a lot of these people, they're so afraid of saying the wrong things because they don't want to step on no one's toes. They really want to get this job so bad, and I get that. But when you come into an interview, man, you gotta give your full best, and you gotta be prepared to ask some questions because then that shows that you was doing research about their company. You have high interest.
Yeah, the asking questions is a key part.
Mm-hmm.
When I used to interview, I didn't, that was one thing that I didn't always do, but that is a key component because I know sometimes, you feel afraid. Hold up real quick. Yeah, I know sometimes people feel afraid on what they should ask. But if you don't know how much you're making, you got to calculate that, right? Let's say you may be getting $15-20 an hour, right? But you need to factor in gas costs, the time it takes to get there, you know what I mean? So will it work for your schedule? If you're scared to ask this, then they just may schedule you on the days that you need to pick up your child, right? So at some point you got to ask things and make certain requests and demands because they're going to make many requests and demands of you. So if you're in a position that you can't request or demand anything from them at all, like what type of position is that, right? And all of they want to know everything about you, right? They want to know where you live. Even when you get hired, right? You got to provide your social, an ID to prove that you're a citizen. You got to do all of this stuff. So you just asking how much they're gonna pay you, weekly, monthly, annually. You know what I mean? Why wouldn't you do that? Ask if they have benefits. Why not? You know what I mean? And it does show the interest, and it will help you weed out. What if you find a better position and you already committed to one, and simply because you didn't ask, oh, I would have took this other position had I known that. You would have known it if you asked. So come
Mm-hmm.
in with a list, even if you don't have your own list. Google will be your friend. Just type in, what are some questions I should ask an interviewer? And they will come up with multiple lists, and you don't have to ask them all of them, but come up with at least like 5 to 10 questions. May not ask 10 questions, but just have at least some of those questions queued up, ready to ask and, get thorough answers. Just like that's what they expect of you. Expecting them to answer a question shouldn't, that should be basic, right?
Yeah, Google is like your best friend as far as like pulling up stuff. So, I mean, you have the internet at your fingertips. Like, I'll give you any resource or information that's needed. So, yeah. QB, you still here?
Yeah, I'm still here. I'm listening to y'all.
Okay. Make sure you're not falling asleep. But
Yeah, that's why I was like, the QB going catching some ZZs.
It's 11 o'clock. I'm getting close to my bedtime, but
well, you know what? I mean, we're already at the 2-hour mark, anyways, and I'm kind of glad that I started early at 7. The thing is that I'm not for sure if I should even start earlier because we have folks that's out in the East Coast, and I know it's been in the Midwest too, and I know it's been like a
I ain't
huge
starting
struggle.
earlier, but if you able to start earlier is always better, because you have to think what you
Mm-hmm.
consider early is always late to someone else.
Okay. Well, for now, I got the times like starting at 7 o'clock as opposed to 7:30. So,
okay.
so for now, like I'll start off with that for now, and then maybe later,
He'll
maybe
try
I
to
might put.
slowly scale it, right?
Yeah, like I'm not gonna just jump from 7:30 to like
To
6:30 or from
4,
six.
he gonna be at 4.
Yeah, everybody. No, I ain't gonna just scale it that far off, but yeah, just like slowly. But we'll see though.
Hot
I
new
mean,
topic at 3 p.m.
man, and now I'll say that for somebody else that might want to take over that slot. So.
Okay. M3, you ain't doing it. I thought you had it with Super Smash.
I'll say that for the weekends. Some weekends, I put that disclaimer out there already. I was like, look, man, I'll play a couple of video games, but don't expect me to do it like every single day.
Yeah, I
But,
was like, where was the tutorial and the breakdown of the new game?
Yeah, you get your tutorial like in the future, Yeah,
You
yeah,
stay tuned for the tutorial.
yeah, right. So yeah, so we're gonna wrap it up because I don't want QB to run past the bedtime and all. But
Yeah, we will
we're gonna be
keep
out there.
going, but
Mm-hmm.
since we love QB, we ain't trying to let her, not get
Mm-hmm.
her beauty rest.
Y'all are
Right,
such gentlemen.
right. So we're gonna end the show for QB's sake,
Uh,
We don't
uh,
want to. It's
Yeah.
reluctant, but
Mm-hmm.
look,
But
just
it
say
has to
y'all
be
got
done.
ladies waiting on y'all.
No, I got this food waiting for me, man. I'm trying to eat. But
What you eating, dog?
shoot, man, I might just get like it's not even like no meal, probably just like a little snack or so.
Okay,
Whatever
okay.
wherever I could cook up in the refrigerator.
Oh, okay. I
So,
thought you was going to McDonald's.
oh no, fuck that.
McDonald's is trash.
Hey, normally I'll probably say don't sleep on like such and such, but no, I can't even say don't
Hey,
sleep
that's what I
on
was waiting
it.
for. I was like, that was the
Nah, man.
classic M3. I was waiting for that
I,
line, and then
look, no, I
you
don't fool. I don't fool with McDonald's stuff. That's why I put out the nah, B-Eazy. I'm good. You know. Now we was talking about like Burger King. I'm like, yo, don't sleep on the Burger King fries though. I know
yeah, I
B-Eazy think those
forgot
fries are nasty.
yeah, them fries is, man, I don't know what they was thinking with them fries. They switched them up at one point. They wasn't always like that, and they tried to, they tried to go with the new ones, and yeah, I can't do it.
I
I'll
love
do
the
the
fries,
onion
man.
rings though. Onion rings is cool.
At Burger King.
Yeah,
Give me Sonic onion rings. I'm putting
I
away
haven't
from
had
French
them
fry.
before.
They the real deal
Uh,
onion rings.
For real?
like like
but
real onions sliced up.
hold on, QB. But what you know about their pickle fries though?
I don't do pickles.
I don't do pickles. I'm with QB on that one. I don't. I get hot
Uh,
even when I say no pickles and then I bite into it and I got the pickle, I'm like, man, I be hot. And cats like, you could just take it off, but it got hella juice on it. Just like it,
Yeah.
because I told my Muslim friend, I had got a pepperoni pizza and I was like, dude, what you complaining for? Just pick it off. He was like, nah, bro, it already been marinating with the juices. And he was like, I ain't eating that. And that's kind of how I feel with pickles. I'm like, bro, you let the juice marinate all over. It's like, come on, give me. You got to run me another one.
Damn. Okay. Okay. Well, look, man. I wanted to say, y'all, man, y'all hibernating, man, on the fried pickles. But I get you though.
Yeah.
I can't do that, Cuddy.
And I'm from the South, and I don't do fried pickles.
Yeah, my family, they like them ones. I'm talking about these ones is so big. It looked like it's like bigger than like a Polish dog. Like these pickles is so big.
Give me some
You know,
fried green
Oh,
tomatoes, and we good.
you know which pickles I'm talking about, M3?
yeah, you talking about like those gigantic, but it's like deep
Yeah, bro.
fried. But
You,
okay, that's
you
that's
like
that's
those?
going too far. No, no, not like that. I just like them
Oh,
sliced
okay.
up like French fries.
Yeah.
I
So
was
they
talking about on a
slice the
smaller
pickles
scale.
up in chip
Oh,
size.
okay. I was like, bro,
Hey, man, now you take me back to like the 90s, man, like up in Oakland, man, when we used to have like
yeah,
the
hey,
gigantic
hey,
pickles
every liquor
and the
store
Kool-Aid.
had one of those, huh?
Yeah.
So do y'all put hot sauce and Kool-Aid and peppermints and all that kind of stuff in your pickles?
M3 do.
Yeah. The hot sauce mixed in with the red Kool-Aid, but then they'll have the bag ready though.
You
So you
used to
freeze
drink the
it.
juice?
Hell yeah, I drink the juice.
M3 Cuddy,
You
bruh.
so you probably be the one at the bar drinking a pickle shot, a,
For real.
a pickle. They call them picklebacks or
Uh,
shot pickle
okay, I
something.
never had like a pickle shot before, but I'll try it.
You wow.
Put
You
some
like to
vodka in
live
it.
dangerously, I see M3. You like to live life on the edge, bro.
Hey man, you have one life to live, but that doesn't
I
mean you
know.
waste it.
You need to put M3 and then in parentheses YOLO. Forget that.
Hey, salutes to OG Patrice in the building. Thank you for tuning in, OG Patrice.
Hey, let me take the time to say this, salute OG Patrice because
Mhm.
man, I was listening to what show was that? I think it was Angela Stan King, and I know OG Patrice that came through there, and the brother Greg Marcel Dixon, he is out there really fighting for black people, you know what I mean? And so y'all should definitely look those people up. Shout out OG Patrice. I know she came through and delivered a strong message. I can't remember what the exact topic was. Oh, I think it was like they were how a specific black politician, Raphael Warnock, how they were like dismissing the black voters, but like literally bowing down and listening to anything that the non-black voters had, so they covered that. It was on Angela Stan King's show, and I seen OG Patrice come through. She delivered a nice performance, so shout out
Oh,
to her.
shit. Well, yeah. Major shouts to you. Sorry, I missed that one. I would definitely tune in.
I didn't catch it live. I just only seen it on the playback, you know what I mean?
Okay.
So yeah.
All right, well, OG Patrice come up there cooking though. I feel you.
Yeah, OG Patrice came up there, brought the fire real quick. So that was dope.
Right, right. I think. Let me see. That's a Sunday. So I think this Sunday coming up, she's having like her show, straight up no chaser talk with OG Patrice at 1 o'clock. So I'll be looking forward to the next episode. Let me see. She says salutes to B-Eazy Dat Dude. Boom, 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 boom. But yeah, yeah. Shout outs again to OG Patrice though. She's definitely nice relations fam, and she's always welcome to our platforms and anything else that we do. She's definitely one of the real OGs. I'll say it like that. But anyways, everybody, please like, subscribe, help us to reach over to 2,000 subscribers. We're already at the 1,000. Sorry, I said 1,000. 1,000 mark, and so we're trying to go up and beyond. I mean, 2,000. Keep in mind that's our short-term goal, but hey, the long term is to go infinity and beyond. So
Okay.
yes, like QB, like what you said earlier. So yeah,
It
let's
can
let's,
be,
let's keep it up. Hmm?
and it can be done. It's just, I'm a believer in when and it has nothing to do with religion. It just has something to do with when the time and space just aligns perfectly. Your listeners and followers will just find you, and the subscribership will just blossom. It's just we just have to continue to be steady and consistent and offer quality content no matter what we do. We just got to stay true to ourselves as a team, and then
Hmm.
people will follow. We never know what that sweet spot is, or what that one show will be. They're like, oh, okay, that I need to go follow them and listen to the rest of their stuff. It
Yeah,
will happen in divine. I believe in divine timing, and this goes beyond my religious beliefs, y'all. I just believe in divine timing.
I feel you. I think where it comes down, where it all boils down to, is that you just find people who are interested, you know, and I'm not talking about like just content creators, but actually finding people who are solely interested in knowledge and relationships, and the people that's a part of it, and just have them share the videos, and that's pretty much it. If
Hmm.
everybody just share Be Easy's content, share your content, the Intellectual SoapBox content, share all of our contents. You're gonna have people that's gonna come in because we're gonna have our main family channel even share like OG Patrice's content because her content is amazing with the guests that she brings. So everybody just continue to share, and then that's pretty much it.
Yes. Can I do it like a not so shameless plug?
Oh, okay.
So tomorrow night, Tuesday, on the Intellectual Soapbox, we got Conversations. And so the topic is nature versus nurture, the case
Mm.
of Jekyll and Hyde. Do we really live? Do we grow up being how we lived and what we experienced and how we were raised? Or do we give in to our inner desires? And, that's all y'all gonna get. Y'all gotta come check out the show.
All right. Well, looks like I gotta tune in tomorrow then.
Be easy. You're more than welcome. Swing on through because you always have some intellectual insight and you're calm and cool and collected. So, look, please swing on through.
Yeah,
You
for
get
sure. What time did you say?
So it'd be, I don't know where you are.
That
Where
would
are
be
you?
5:30 like our time
Okay. Yeah.
Pacific.
So I might be able to just come through in the chat because we also is going to be doing something tomorrow on here since we shameless plugging. You know what I mean? She said, yeah, not so shameless. But
Mhm.
tomorrow is going to be easily rigged. The time is to be determined. You know what I mean? This one is going to be a late one. So QB, you might not be up. But if you is, you can definitely swing through. But see, my thing is, let me just give a breakdown because there's multiple ways to support. There's levels to this, right? The ultimate support is if you receive, an invite, from QB, M3, myself, or anyone else. The ultimate one is, to come up. join the panel, and contribute to the conversation, in a meaningful and a tasteful way. That is a form of support. There's another form of support. If you don't come up on the panel, you can like, what I mean? You can hit
Yeah.
the notification bell. You can share. All of these things are free because I understand some people may be available to come up on the panel today, but they're not available tomorrow. But everyone is available to stop by, give a like, give a share, drop a comment. It doesn't even have to be a elongated comment. You can drop 100, a fire, a thumbs up, a thumbs down. Even the emojis and reactions are comments, and we'll do our best to reply to each and every comment. So I just want people to get that understood, because sometimes people um get also a little bit entitled with their expectancy of a certain type of support. You know what I mean? If I'm doing streams, you know what I mean? I may want QB to come up to every stream. Is that realistic? A realistic expectation? And then should I feel salty? Well, you missed this stream and you didn't even come support. I liked and shared the stream, and I dropped a comment after, or I told someone else. I told 4 or 5 people. So there is a lot of support that goes on behind the scenes, and I think people need to do a better job of visibly supporting, but also privately supporting. You know what I mean? Because if I like and share something, people may not always see that, so you can kind of view that as a private support. But all of that will, lead to the ultimate goal, which is, more exposure, more expansion. And people need to not also feel that, like, hey, if I share Be Easy's post, well, what if some of my followers start watching him more? Yeah, but what if they don't? And then what if they start watching me more and I start having you on my show more? So we can't be thinking about this defeated, super
Mm-hmm.
competitive
Corporate
attitude, you
division.
know what I mean?
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm on knowledge and relationships, but I got my own page. I'm definitely really going to be posting this week because it's just too much stuff for me to remain silent on. I've been on a lot of other people's platforms and panels, and due to all of the chicanery on the YouTube streets, I've been super reluctant, to go full throttle, because I'm not making any money off YouTube. So I'm going to go with the endeavors that make me money. But certain things, I just got to speak on it. And it's not really about what is gaining me. It's about what it's just a responsibility that I believe I need to do. Plus, certain streams is kind of fun and shit. Like you may just want to
Mm-hmm.
just game or have a sports stream or something. So look forward to a lot of content that's going to be coming to knowledge and relationships. And I got my own page to subscribe to, B-Eazy Dat Dude. And I already know I've subscribed to M3 TV, but in Intellectual Soapbox. But QB, if you got like any other specific channels, and there's another thing too. If I could look at it and say I'm already subscribed to Knowledge and Relationships. No need to subscribe to M3. Now, if M3 has another channel that he's trying to get off, why wouldn't I support it? Like, what is it really costing you to click subscribe to my page, right? Like, is it burning your soul to like click subscribe? I be seeing people all the time. They'll see a photo or something that I did or said, and will acknowledge that it's fire, will scroll
Mm-hmm.
past it and like some goofy shit. You will
Yeah.
scroll past
Little
and
thoughts.
like some comedic weirdo shit. I'm saying something to empower and uplift my people. Yeah, whatever. Just all that gets is a scroll. I can't get a like. I can't get a share or subscribe. And look, I'm not complaining about that. I don't really want subscribers and supporters that don't genuinely support. I'm just speaking in generally to dismantle all of the excuses and confusion and shit. If you don't want to support, that's okay. Like I'm okay with that. I like people to be upfront with their non-support versus acting like you kind of half-heartedly support. That I really can't condone. Like, I can't do it easily rigged and be like halfway into it, like, yeah, I'm doing this show, but I really don't even want to be on this platform. I'm just doing it. Like, how would that really come off? That's how the support comes off. If you really don't fool with me like that, that's okay. Like, I'm not even mad at you. But to try to act like you are, that's where I will have an issue. And I support those who support me, even if I don't disagree with you. So we all should really be supporting each other. You know what I mean? So after the stream, leave a comment. I know people think this is like rocket science and it's so hard to do, but after the stream, and not just this stream, streams that you like, those really help the algorithm. So just go leave somebody an emoji. You can say something basic. Great stream. Keep up the great work. It's so many generic things that you can say. It's a generic phrase, but the impact is not generic. It's actually very genuine because it will continuously help people grow. And if you ain't trying to see people grow, then are you trying to see them fail? If you're not trying to see them progress, are you trying to see them regress? Are you going to assist the progress, or are you going to assist the regress? That's how it is, man. It's really no in between. You either with it or you against it.
Shout out. Yes. So
As
I
you guys are
posted.
talking, I just want to make sure that, like, okay, this is posted, so make sure you guys follow like the Q Spot podcast, subscribe to our channel, and also subscribe to B-Eazy Dat Dude, both like on YouTube. So it just takes one click, well, 1 or 2 clicks, and that's pretty much it. 2 clicks. Click on the link and click on subscribe. Well, 3 clicks. Click on the bell. Okay, 4 clicks. And hit the notification to all. So it takes 4 clicks.
Hey, that's that dyslexia.
4 simple clicks, man. But yeah.
Man, shout out to M3 for that, bro.
Right. I had to think about that. I was like, oh, wait, okay. Gotta click on the link. Then click on subscribe. Then click on the notification bell. Then you gotta make sure you click to all. So make sure, if you want to all, just make sure you click on that notification and all this other stuff, and then you'll be notified whenever they go live. So 4 simple clicks. All right. It's not too much.
Well, M3, I want to thank you for allowing me to come up and share my price going up. So my 5 cents. Thank you for letting me share my 5 cents.
Nah, hey, it's all good. Thank you for tuning in and come up onto the panel and sharing like your insights. So that was definitely helpful to get a woman's perspective. And then B-Eazy, thank you for coming up as well too. And salutes to the Intellectual SoapBox for coming up as well, and sharing his insight as well too. So everybody did good.
All right, for sure. Take us home, M3.
All right, for sure, man. All right, man. So thank you for tuning in to Knowledge and Relationships. I'm already getting tired, so let's go ahead, man, and play this outro before before I start talking about a bunch of rubbish. Anyways, like, comment, subscribe, share the videos, leave a heartfelt emoji or comment at the end of the live stream, and we are out. Peace, everybody.
Knowledge and relationships.